What's up? Welcome back to the Hydro Mind Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Ross. Today we're talking about the Landlocked Surfer's Survival Guide. So, if you're landlocked or if you're just busy with work and you're finding you can't find time to get into the water, you're busy with kids, any reason, talking about worst case scenarios, whatever reason, you can't get in the water and you're worried your surfing fitness is going down like this, because it is. I'm going to tell you my personal story about what I do, what I've done recently on my current landlocked situation to make sure I stay in top form and how that gave me giant results in the water. So for me, I live in two places. I live on the coast with my family, and I have a job where I work in the oil and gas industry and a home here. With the pandemic, traveling back and forth, getting stuck on both sides, I couldn't do it. I brought the family here away from the coast. Super tough decision. So I put myself in a landlocked situation. So the reason I started doing surf training at all was because I was always traveling away and getting crashed in the ocean. So I'm going back to my roots, going into the training, except it's a little bit different because I have a foundation built. So what happened for me? About 4 months landlocked, zero time in the ocean. Anyone who does that in the past, go out to the water and struggle immensely. Immediately be super sore, not catch any waves, session length would be shrunk. Not only did I surf as good as I do, I wouldn't say it was my best sessions ever, but my endurance was there, my strength was there, and I never got sore. So I surfed for 5 days straight. First 4 days, it was blowing on shore kinda, it was a little sloppy. I was getting waves, not the quality waves that I wanted. Last day, day 5, when I should be at my most tired, wind turned around, offshore, waves started standing up. I surfed the longest session and had the most energy. So I lasted all those days surfing every single day without a decline and without getting sore. That's absolutely unheard of. So I'm gonna show you exactly what I did and how you can do it too, so you can always be ready no matter what happens. Listen, I have a full-time career. I have a business where I have multiple employees and thousands of clients all over the world. I got 2 kids and I got a wife. I'm as busy as it gets, so if I can do it, you can do it. So this is how I do it. Very first thing you gotta do, you got to change your mind, man. First thing's the mind. The biggest pushback I've got trying to build this company and get this training out to the right people is people would always tell me the surfing fitness myth, that the only way to stay in shape for surfing was to actually surf. Well, if that was true, then everyone might as well give up. I know in the past it was believed to be true because none of this type of training existed before, but so this is relatively new. But it's just simple. So if you can stay in shape for surfing by surfing, we do surf simulation training, which is exactly like surfing. So that's the way around it. So you got to change your beliefs. You got to believe it's possible. Because if you believe the surf fitness myth, I can't help you. But because you're watching here, I know that's true. So moving on to the next one. What are we doing with our bodies? So I'll always talk about paddle strength. I've made a million different pieces of content about paddle strength. We're gonna talk a little bit more. So for me, I don't do tons of paddle. Like the 4 months I was away, I wasn't doing paddle strength workouts every single day. I've already got this base, this foundation, like this. So this is the pyramid. This is what I had done over the last 10 years. But really, for you, I would say 1 to 2 months, you could build a giant foundation. So 1 to 2 months, you can build that foundation. And that's what I've done. So I don't do paddle workouts every single day of the week like I recommend for beginners in the beginning. What I do is I do greasing the groove, which is paddle maintenance stuff. So it's like an under a 5-minute workout. Don't even break up a sweat. It's just a paddle workout for a couple minutes to send the working signal to your muscles. And so it's training the movement pattern. It's sending that signal to your muscles to keep them from atrophying. So this is what I do most of the time, is greasing the groove. So GG, greasing the groove. So it's short 5-minute workouts. And at the very top, right before my trip, about 2 weeks out, I started doing, not every day, I don't know, I'd say 3 or 4 days a week, maybe 5 days a week. I'll just say 5 days a week. For the last 2 weeks before the trip, I started doing a little more heavy paddle work. So I'd do like a full paddle workout on those days. Then, right before I left, let me think, how many, it was probably 4 days. So I took 4 days rest. 4 days rest before the trip. So that way when I show up at the beach, I have the highest energy levels possible. So when I got there, I went with my other buddy. He's fairly new surfer. I've known him my whole life. Great snowboarder, great skateboarder. Just doesn't have the surfing fitness. So I sent him the training. He was doing okay. He only had it for a couple weeks. But his big thing, next day he was insanely sore, right? I've surfed quadruple the amount of time he was and never ever got sore. I felt amazing. And that's the biggest thing, because when you go on surf trips, you're surfing twice a day, multiple days in a row, you'll be taking thousands of more strokes than you would in a normal surf session. But what we do, we don't do giant thousands of stroke workouts. We do small to medium paddle workouts spread out throughout the week, and the accumulation over time is a ton. So when you are doing all these tons of strokes, it's not a shock to your body. It's honestly just like as natural as walking. The reason I call my program the Waterman program is because a waterman is someone who's as comfortable in the water as they are in the land. So that's why we're paddling on land. So we get in the water, boom, it's natural, and it feels right. So the second part, so we got our body, we've got mind, we've got body. What's the second piece of the body? You already know, it's the breath. So surfing's an endurance sport where you're forced to hold your breath over and over. So I make sure I do that as much as possible. So I do that in two different ways, in training and in lifestyle. So I do it with the paddle workout, but also do it when I'm in the shower, when I'm sitting watching TV, when I'm walking, when I'm running, when I'm doing any kind of cardio workout, I'm doing breath training all the time. So I call that lifestyle training. And the final piece, so this keeps oxygen efficiency up, but also growing and getting better. So my breath hold time was there, my recovery time was way down, which is what you want, and my endurance was way up. So that's all the things that I want there, and I maintain that and had it at the high levels that I'm used to, even though I was off for 4 months out of the water. So I was holding my breath doing low oxygen training. The final thing is where I actually got way better. So I had a ton of time to focus on my functional strength and my mobility. I really dove deep into the stretching, from head to toe, constantly testing my body, refeeling every single muscle, doing lots of deep tissue work, tons of flexibility. I've reached personal best on all my flexibility markers, and my functional strength stuff is way up there. So that's what I do out of the water, 4 months off. There's no one else on earth except for my members in my group that take 4 months off surfing and come back and get as many waves as they want. Unheard of in the past. This is revolutionary stuff. So for you, if you find yourself in a position where your fitness is on the decline, you feel like your family, your job, career, this, that, the other thing, age, time is working against you, I'm here to tell you that your best surfing is still ahead of you. So if you want this kind of training, what do you gotta do? First of all, you gotta get your mind right. You gotta believe it's possible. So if you want to get involved with our group, with our family of surfers who are making sure that they catch the best waves all the time, no matter what their situations, then you just got to get a hold of me. Me and my team, we're waiting for the right kind of people. So all you gotta do is message me the word Waterman, and we'll get you started in the process to see if you qualify to join our training and become an elite waterman. So if you want to catch more waves, you want to catch better waves, if your life would be improved by either of those things, message me and we'll get you involved as quickly as possible. I'll talk to you soon.